Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about 7 things that the narcissist fears the most. One of the things you don't realize is that narcissists are filled with anxiety. A lot of them are filled with depression, but they don't show you that. Narcissists are terrified inside, but they put on a different front, a different image to everybody, that they're very confident, they're very self-assured, and that couldn't be farther from the truth, because a narcissist, a lot of the reasons narcissists do what they do is because of their fears and because it's a survival tactic. Narcissism really is a survival tactic. So I'm going to talk about 7 things that narcissists fear the most. Number 1, a narcissist fears your success. Narcissists are very, very competitive. They never, ever want to see you do better than them. So they're going to fear that you're going to do better, you're going to be successful, and you're going to leave them in the wind, all right? They fear that you become successful because when you become successful, you not only maybe make money, okay? You also become independent, right? See, narcissists want you dependent on them. They want you to be needing them. And this is the way they control you, because when you need them, you're going to do what they want, right? But when you don't need them and you're independent, they can't control you. So narcissists fear your success. And this is why they try to sabotage your success as well, because they're competitive, they're jealous, and they're afraid that you're going to do well and that you're not going to need them. What's the next thing that narcissists fear the most? They fear that you're going to end up seeing them for who they really are: a coward, an empty person, a liar, somebody who's inauthentic, somebody who's a manipulator. This is one of their biggest fears as well. This is why they're always hiding behind the mask. This is why they try to confuse you with gaslighting. So they never ever want you to see what they are. That's why sometimes when they're running cold on you, all of a sudden they're going to run hot on you, because they don't want you to ever be suspicious and see what they're doing. Maybe they're, dealing with another supply. They don't want you to get suspicious. So now all of a sudden they're going to start giving you a lot of attention, fake affection, pretend that they really care, all right? Because they don't want you to see what they're really, really doing. That's why they gaslight you as well. They want to confuse you from what is the truth. They want to, they want you to question yourself. So one of their biggest fears is being found out, okay? Being exposed. So when a narcissist feels that you're starting to see what they are, they're going to start to panic, and they're going to be grooming that other supply so that they could, get out of there, get out of Dodge, move on to the next person. When they start to see that you're questioning them, you're seeing that they're not really who you thought they were, that's when the narcissist pretty much knows their game is up and they've got to move on to somebody else who doesn't know what they are. So narcissists fear your success, and they fear that you're going to know what they are, that you're going to be able to see right through them and see that they're not this confident, fearless type of person, that they're actually a coward, and they do all these things, because they're very, very insecure. So that leads into the fact that narcissists are afraid that you're going to see that they're insecure. This is why they'll always project shame onto you and call you insecure. So whatever the narcissist, whatever they're calling you, is they're projecting who they really are. They're projecting that shame onto you. Next thing that narcissists fear the most, they fear being shown up. One of the greatest fears of a narcissist is somebody outdoing them. It's kind of like you being successful. They absolutely can't handle you doing better than them, looking better, career-wise better, having more friends. This, only reinforces their insecurity. When they start to see you do better, it makes them feel more and more insecure. So they never want to be shown up. The other thing that narcissists fear the most, they fear you being happy, okay? Again, misery loves company. Narcissists hate when other people are happy. This is why they'll ruin holidays. This is why they ruin your birthday. This is why they'll ruin vacations. They they're jealous. It comes down to jealousy, that spirit of Cain. Where Cain was jealous of his brother Abel. They're jealous of other people. So the narcissist doesn't want to see you happy. That's why, how could you ever have a happy relationship or a healthy relationship with somebody who never ever wants to see you happy? You can't. They're always going to, terrorize you, or they're always going to be negative or put you down or, try to burst your bubble. That's why narcissistic abuse survivors, they end up with anxiety, they end up depressed, they end up taking pills for depression because they took away your happiness. Not only do they take away your time and a piece of your life, but they took away your happiness and they took away your outlook on life. Because a lot of survivors of narcissistic abuse are never the same after dealing with a narcissist. You may have been looking at the world in an optimistic type of way before you met the narcissist. And after dealing with the narcissist, now you're looking at the world with a pessimistic type of way. That's when people come to me and they say to me, I can't trust anybody. Oh, I'm never going to date again. Because they've been hurt so badly by the narcissist, they'll never ever trust again. They'll never trust again. I've had narcissists actually come to me and tell me that when they tried to date people, a lot of these people didn't trust. They didn't trust. Well, what do you expect when you're doing what you're doing to these people? Do you think that you're going to have a society of healthy people that you can, be with? No, you're going to have a bunch of people that are never going to trust again. And this is what happens. So narcissists fear when you're, getting back to the point of what narcissists fear, they fear your happiness. They absolutely fear happiness. It's like when you post on social media and you're posting that you're happy or things are going well for you, that narcissist, oh my gosh, that is like a dagger in the narcissist's heart. The last thing they fear or the last thing they want to see is you happy or you moving on, all right? And that brings me to my next point. What narcissists fear the most. They fear that you get over them. They fear that you move on. Maybe you move into another relationship and now you're progressing in your life and the narcissist never progresses. They stay stuck in one place. They go in a circle. They could get married, mind you, but they'll always be chasing their tail. What does that mean? Well, they could be married, but understand this. They're not, living the life of a married person the way a normal person would, because they're doing what they want. They're not completely committed to their partner. It's kind of like they get married so that they could have their cake and eat it too, and they marry for image. So a narcissist, when they see you move on in your life, maybe get married, end up with somebody new, that narcissist, it's going to bother them. It's also going to bother them too because they're going to feel the loss of control. They're going to see that you're happy, that you're moving on, that you're not falling to pieces. The narcissist wants to see you fall to pieces. They want to see that you can't live without them. This is what the narcissist wants. They want to know that they're important to you, that they're important to your life, that you can't survive without them. So one of their biggest fears is seeing that you can survive without them. And this is what I try to tell people all the time. Yeah, you had good times with the narcissist, but you can still have good times with somebody else in your life. You lived a life before the narcissist, and you will certainly live a life after the narcissist. So don't think that the narcissist can be the end all your whole life, because you could have happiness with a lot of different people in this world. But people, they fall hard for the narcissist and for their future faking and the dream and the fantasy that they built up in their head. They've been so manipulated and so vulnerable and so thirsty for these kind of things in their life that they fall to pieces when the narcissist leaves them, and they've got to get their power back and pull themselves together and realize that that person was not who you thought they were. Okay. And that person was not going to bring you happiness. One of the biggest realizations is that when a narcissist leaves you, it's actually a blessing. They are doing you a favor, whether you realize it or not. They are doing you a favor because that person would have never, ever made you happy. Never. You know why? Because they themselves can never be happy. So you can never be happy with somebody who's not happy with themselves. And that's the narcissist. Never happy with themselves. And they're going to project that unhappiness, that anxiety, and that depression onto whomever their partner is. All right. So the narcissist's greatest fears, let's get into it. Like I recap, they fear your success. They fear that you're going to see them for who they are, that they're going to be exposed. They fear that you're going to be happy. They fear that you're going to get over them and you're going to move on in your life and you're going to progress in your life with somebody else and forget about them. They're afraid that you're going to forget about them and that they meant nothing. The other big one is that narcissists fear abandonment. This is one of the biggest ones. This is probably bigger than being exposed. Narcissists fear being left out in the wind and abandoned. This is why they're going to fear you moving on and forgetting about them, because the narcissist, you are a piece of property to the narcissist, and they don't ever want to lose that. You are like the old toy. You are the old toy that the narcissist doesn't want to throw out. I hate to tell you, but that's the best analogy. You are something that the narcissist wants to hang onto, like an old toy that a kid would hold on to, doesn't play with the toy. The kid doesn't play with the toy anymore, but they just can't let it go. Okay? They just can't let it go. And that's the narcissist. A lot of times they cannot let go of you. This is why they'll give it some time and they'll hoover and they'll try to reel you back. All right? Because the narcissist doesn't want to feel that abandonment, because abandonment is emptiness, right? They're going to feel empty again. And understand this, they're already empty inside. So when you abandon them even more, this is really going to spiral them into a hole of depression. So narcissists hate abandonment unless, now here's the other thing that a lot of people forget. And a lot of influencers, when they talk about this, they don't take this into consideration. Narcissists might be okay if you leave them if they have a good replacement, all right? So not all narcissists will fall to pieces when you leave if they can replace you with somebody else that fills that void and gives them the supply that they need, all right? They may get bored with them and miss your supply, but a lot of narcissists, yes, can discard you, can move on, can never hoover you, and can be okay with a new supply. Not every narcissist is going to come back. Understand this. Not every narcissist is going to come back. Most do. It may not be right away. Most do. But some of them can move on and go with other people. And they may not come back for a couple different reasons. One, because they know you're too strong and they're not going to get anywhere with you. Or two, because you are a backup supply. You're not a grade A supply. They feel they can get better supply somewhere else. All right. So that could be reasons why the narcissist could discard you and not come back. All right. And in which case, but it's still going to bother them, if you move on in your life, because they never, ever want to see you ever do better than them. All right. Because remember what I told you, it's a competition with them. All right. What's another thing that narcissists fear the most? They fear your self-care and your self-worth being built up. See, a narcissist, they want to tear you down. So nothing makes them fear more than to see you taking care of yourself, going to the gym, eating right, exercising, taking care of your finances, getting together with other friends, being healthy, having a life outside the narcissist, you putting yourself first. This is one of the narcissist's biggest fears. Because again, like I said, they want you codependent on them. So they don't want to see you. When you take care of yourself, you guys, what's that doing? That's building you up, right? That's building your self-confidence. That's building your self-worth. And when you're a person who builds your confidence, builds your self-worth, you believe in yourself, and you're not going to be so desperate for the narcissist because you feel good about yourself and you have more self-confidence and you believe in yourself. And this is what the narcissist absolutely hates, because they want you to doubt yourself. They want you to fall to pieces. They want you to, stay home, eat bonbons, gain weight, and fall to pieces thinking about them. So that's why you've got to do the exact opposite. You've got to pull yourself together. You've got to put a plan in place of doing a little self-care every day, whatever it could be, okay? Go for a massage. Go for a walk. Go for a hike. Join a sports group. Get together with friends at the mall or at a coffee shop or something like that. That's your self-care. And narcissists hate that. They hate to see that you're doing okay and you're looking good. They absolutely hate when you're looking good, all right? That's a given. Narcissists hate when you're looking good. And they hate when you're getting over them and you're able to live your life, all right? Now, last point about the things narcissists fear the most. Narcissists in general will fear any kind of shame being put on them. This is why they don't take accountability, because they're afraid of shame. So a narcissist's number one defense tactic is to just blame shift and put that blame on somebody else. When something goes wrong, it's your fault, or they blame their enemies. When something goes wrong, who are they going to blame? They're going to blame their enemies, because a narcissist's fear is taking accountability and facing shame. So these are all the things that narcissists absolutely, positively fear, all right? They fear your success. They fear that they are exposed and you see them for who they are. They fear you abandoning them. They fear you being happy. They fear you getting over and moving on in your life. They fear your self-care and your self-worth being built up. And one last thing I'm going to throw in here. Also, they fear, any shame being put on them, having to take accountability. And last one, okay, and this is a big one. One of the greatest fears of a narcissist is that you get over on them. You use them for something, and then you throw them to the wind, kind of like you being the narcissist. And this happens to narcissists. They get involved with other narcissists, and they're very, very bruised after that. They have a bruised ego after that. They may have gotten involved with another narcissist that cheated on them or used them for something and then dumped them. It happens all the time. And then the narcissist is going to, they're going to play the victim, and their ego is going to go down and hit rock bottom because they got played, all right? Narcissists do get played, and this, you guys, is the ultimate fear of a narcissist, is for them to ever get played by somebody else, because they always got to be on top. So, you want to crush a narcissist to the core, I'm not suggesting you do this, but, you play them the way they played you. That's playing games, and we don't play games, and we don't engage with narcissists. But there are some people that ask me, and what will really destroy a narcissist is if you play them, okay? If you play them, because they want to be the ones playing you. They want to be the ones playing you. Obviously, don't waste your time with games, because when you play games, everybody loses. The best thing to do is not deal with them, because they're nothing but time wasters. So walk away. Don't bother with them. and work on yourself, focus in on yourself, your self-care, your career, everything, building yourself up, and be happy and move on, okay? And, don't worry about the narcissist. They're damaged. You're not going to change that narcissist. Nobody's going to change that narcissist. They can't self-reflect. They can't repent. So they can't change. The only thing they could change is, who they're working on, okay? When things don't work out with one supply and the supply is starting to see what they're about, they're going to just move on to the next supply that doesn't see what they're about. So the only thing that changes with the narcissist is their partner, okay? Or their manipulation tricks a little bit. But narcissists fear you becoming better than them. They fear you abandoning them. They fear your success. They fear you being happy. They fear that you're going to play them. And they fear any kind of accountability or shame that you put on them, okay? So I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio, askgaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. If you're confused, you don't know if you're dealing with a narcissist, and you want clarity, check out the link in the bio at askgaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. I have a new Facebook page, The Game EXP 777 on Facebook. Check it out. TikTok, you guys, is The Game Exposed. Instagram is The Game EXP 123, and of course, YouTube, where I have over 6,000 videos, is The Game Exposed podcast on YouTube. And have a great day.